The one and only Amir Ali.
Thank you everyone. Can you hear me?
And then I started doing more research and I found you, and I hate doing videos, but the coaching calls was one of the things. And then you had another video that caught my eye where it was specific, outside the PMP, but I knew this is real content. This is things that will be on the exam, right?
I did hard work for sure, but I think the follow-up, sir, you did. I don't know how you managed to do the follow-up with one particular student like me. You have hundreds of students. You are just keeping an eye on each of the students. So after my hard work, I can say that the credit goes to you, sir. That is for sure.
Hi Amir, good morning. Yes, I cleared the exam. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. And this has happened only because of that customized roadmap and mocks. And you always keep on asking us to do proper RCA, detailed RCA. It happened only because of the detailed RCA. Yes, this RCA helped me a lot.
Thank you for all this guidance and support you gave me, Mr. Amir. Thanks for our team.
So I was just looking at his post, like who cleared the PMP, and he used to post the success stories on daily basis. So I reached out to Alina and I asked her like, how is his program or something. So she said like, you can trust him and you should join this program if you are looking for it.
It was a very customized base feedback that I was getting from sir, from you.
So yes, follow-up is very important, and thank you very much for that. It made me accountable. If you didn't ask me this often, I would have slacked off more.
I would say your course was super important. I think this was the main part, like once you understand the course, and then I think the mocks were super important. Your emphasis on mocks, like you kept nagging us that, get this mock done, do RCA. All of this was super helpful because questions were they were similar. So yeah, mocks were, there are so many mocks that you have, and if you do all of them, I'm pretty sure anybody who goes, who does them can easily clear a team.
Amir, first of all, thank you so much. I think without your guidance, it took me 1 year, one complete year. I was preparing for PMP through books and everything. So I was giving some mocks also available online, and I was not able to, have that confidence that I'll be able to clear. But I'm telling you, after attending the classes, especially after doing the mocks, doing the RCAs, I was feeling confident enough that yes, I can attempt it. And the day you told me to book your exam, I still asked you that are you sure that I can give the exam? And you said yes, you're ready.
First of all, I thank you a lot for the privilege, because when I started encounter with your program through LinkedIn, so some of your thoughts, always motivated me. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. So I always follow you, almost everything, all your journeys. I watch all of them, even the one that they speak in your local language.
So that was not an easy journey, and it would not be possible without you. I really appreciate the support. He was always available for my questions and always put me in the right direction. And actually, if I want to say how was the journey, my journey started 2 years back. Then I first called you for the SP, and then you directed me to PMP, and then we did SP after that, and then you tricked me to do the PGMP.
Thank you so much, and again, Amir, thank you so much, and your mocks are really good. I mean, yeah, please, everyone should do your mock for sure, and then they will be all prepared for the exam. And trust your program.
And then you came with your follow-ups, and that kind of really boosted me. Those daily follow-ups, making sure that I was getting the mocks that I needed to do completed, and following up on me, it really boosted my motivation again. And as I was started doing those mocks, I got an opportunity for a job which required me to have PMP, so I had to go for PMP before I get the interview.
Mostly coaching goal is for you understand how you will solve the question. Mostly it is like that. We can only do the 10 or 12 questions, maybe less than that. But main thing is it will come into your bones that you have to do elimination technique. So you cannot go just, okay, this is the answer, I will go directly put this answer. That is the main thing. It will come into you that you have to do elimination technique. That is the best thing for coaching all.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, with the right guidance from yourself, I managed to do good in the exam and to clear the PMP. I would say that your approach was really helpful because I'm not that type of a person who would sit there and read a lot of theoretical things to get things done. I'm more of a practical person who would prefer practicing over sticking to the theoreticals. And
I would definitely say that the root cause analysis for me was the key. And here's why. Is some people try so hard to memorize all the processes and how they're all linked together. And if you do this, then you got to do that. And some people, maybe they think that way. That was very hard for me. It was just a lot to memorize. I'm not Amer Ali. I can't do that. So for me, just the process of actually answering the questions with your technique of process of elimination. And then when you're left with always like two answers, which one do you do? And if you get it wrong, you have to go do the root cause analysis. So thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you very much for everything. Fantastic. I would not have done as well as I had done if I hadn't had the foundation that you gave me, for sure.
Who here wants to be successful? Raise your hands.
Okay, guys. So first of all, welcome to the question answer session. Let me know if you can hear me, see me properly. Good to see you, Reshma. I had a dream, and the dream was very clear. I want to help 5,000 people to become PMP in 2026. You heard me right. It's an impossible dream, right? But that's what makes us great. That's what makes us human being, that we can dream the big as much as we can. So this is a very important thing, that I had a dream. And for that dream, I need every single one of you to be at stakeholder engagement matrix level S. Do you know S or L? What does that mean? Now, this is the PMI language. When I say I need you at the stakeholder level S, engagement matrix level S or L, what does that mean? What do you think? What does that mean? Preferably L. Okay. What does that mean for you? What actually that mean for you? What is the meaning that I want you to at a stakeholder engagement level L? Okay, that is what I want you. So this is a very important question maybe for PMP. Like, as a project manager, I need my stakeholders to be at L. What does that mean? So put in the chat box. The engagement level to be at L. What does that mean? Leading. I want you guys at leading stage instead of like, it's a very important concept in the stakeholder topic. If we look into that, stakeholder topic has stakeholder engagement matrix. Okay, those stakeholder who are unaware, then there are stakeholder who are resistant, then there are stakeholder who are neutral, there are supportive, and then finally they are leading stage. Okay, this is stage of stakeholders, and this is name. So currently you can be at any stage. Probably if you are in the coaching call, so you are at here or maybe here. Okay, what do I want? I want you here, preferably here. Okay, so this can be stage 1, 2, 3. I want all of you to be here. So what I need to do for that? I need to do some strategies. Where I can change your neutral to sportive and sportive to leading stage. And the biggest strategy I feel that there is, and you can share your opinion on that. The biggest strategy I feel there is that you become PMP. Okay, I want you to become certified project management professional. That is simplest thing I can put into that. In next 4 to 6 weeks, I want you to become certified project management professional. This is what I want from you guys, right? So Ubaid said it beautifully. That means we clear PMP and also help other people. If we can achieve that, that is the goal. I want you guys to become certified PMP, and not only you become certified PMP, follow the mantra of each one, teach one, and other people also become certified PMP. Okay. So, what do you think that is needed? Put in the comment box from my side that you become PMP. What do you need? What do you need from my side? We are already doing 4 coaching call in a week. We are already doing like facilitators as a one-to-one session. So what do you exactly need? You think that I can do it? You can share here or you can share later. In this month, like it's been 15 days, I did PMP marathon, 60 question answers. Already we did. Then I did the complete summary of PMP. That I already did. Right? So what do you need more? Okay. Clear the concept. That is an ongoing thing. That you cover the PMP booklet and things of those nature. That's an ongoing thing. Okay. What else can be done? You see, sometime I ask you guys, instead of just putting it out, PMP, yeah, there are 4 coaching calls, Sadia, that we do every week. And you will be, those people who are joining now, they will understand what the coaching call are. Coaching call are a question answer session that we do every single week to make sure that they stay on right flow. What else? Think about it. Okay, now coming back to the topic of the today's coaching call, we are gonna solve some question answers like always. Okay, we are gonna solve PMP question answers. That is the purpose here. But I also want to share tomorrow in less than 23 hours, my batch 1 is going to start. I'm very much focused on that batch to make sure these people become PMP before Ramadan. Why? Routine changes. When Ramzan comes, routine changes. And that's why the tomorrow batch, that is 16, 17, 18. It's a 3 days class. Normally what happen, I do consecutive 6 days. I did not do this time. But I am doing it because in these 3 days, most important content will be covered. Okay, like you know that stakeholder communication, team, agile, risk, quality, and governance, that we will cover. Then I will give them 12 days to complete question answers and RCA, and we will also fill their application. Then they come back on 30, 31st, and 1st February. We'll complete the course, and we set the deadline of 14th February for them. Okay, so I'm very much focused on that. So let's go back to the question answers that we need to do, and we are going to work into that, into those question answers. Anyone has any question they want to ask? You're more than welcome to ask any question that you may have along the way. I want to work in I want to dedicate this coaching call only to the risk topic. Okay, so consider it as a risk topic masterclass today. Okay, so guideline while the entry. Oh, that you will get. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Thank you. And I'm married too. I have 2 kids. Okay, so the risk topic. We need to use 3 steps to solve any PMP question. 3-step formula, like summarize of 7 step into 3 steps. We need to use that in order to solve any PMP question here. Okay. So first and most important is slow down while solving the question answer. Identify keywords while solving the question answer. Use elimination technique. Okay. So which document will you update? You are the project manager. You have identified all the risk in current project. You have made a plan for them. When risk occurred, they were according to the agreed plan, but suddenly another risk occurred that was not identified before. Which document you will update? Before I go into that, let me go back to these 4 documents. 4 documents. First of all, risk. What's a risk? Anything to be risk, there has to be 2 characteristics. You identified before happening. You have a plan for it. That is the definition of a risk in my wording. Anything you identified, you put in the risk register. It has all risks in project. Okay. Risk register has all risk in projects. Now, anything that you did not identify, it has happened. It's an issue. It's a issue. It goes into issue log. You have no plan for it. Simplest thing that you do not have a plan how to handle that. That's an issue, goes into issue log. Risk management plan. how the process will occur. It defines how the process will occur. So if you want to do audit, it will be in the risk management plan. Risk management plan has no risk in it. It has no risk inside in it. Okay, do these things. Risk report. Risk report is your summary report, what has happened in last till last meeting. Okay, till last meeting what has happened, risk report. Now, so we have 4 document: risk register, issue log, risk management plan, and risk report. Are we clear about that? What are these things and what do you get into that? I need you to put something in the comment box to make sure that yes, I understand what is risk register, risk report, issue log. That is clear to you. Some people are putting questions, things in the batch 1 right now. Don't do that. The people will become confusing. Islam, put it here. Thanks on the comment box. So 4 things very important: risk management plan, risk register, issue log. So now once you know that, you go to the question. You see, in order to solve any PMP question, we need to, in order to solve any PMP question, we need to understand the content. That's why I went back to the content. I need to know how to solve question answer and time management. I understand now this has happened. So it's not a risk. It will not go to risk register. We are not asking for summary, not go there. It's not about the process. It will not go there. We are left with issue log. So using 3-step formula, slow down, keywords, elimination technique, I knew the content, I was able to solve the question. Okay. Question may be easy, question may be hard. That does not matter. Follow the process. If you follow the process, you can solve the question. Issue log is the answer. Next question. Now with the content, slow down, try to solve the question. This one. Interesting thing. You made a plan before happening, right? You made a plan before happening. So here comes the reasoning behind it. Okay. Somebody put risk management plan. I just explained you that risk management plan has no risk in it. Another person put it. Naim, I just explained you that risk management plan talks about how the process should occur. Then why did you put the risk management plan, brother? I put specifically risk management plan talks about how the process occur. Risk register has all the risk. Nabila, what's the confusion here, my friend? I want to understand. Like 4 people put it, like Nabila put risk management plan, Naim put risk management plan. Then this is the life of FIP, put risk management plan. HDSSS 6666 put risk management plan. We discussed here, and I'll explain it again, no issue, that risk management plan talks about how the process will occur. When we want to do audit, risk management plan will help us. How the sequence, risk management plan has no risk in it. Okay, in the patent question, the risk was identified and it go to risk register. If it has happened, it would have gone to the issue log. When you do not have a plan for something and that happened, it goes to issue log. Okay, it goes to issue log. I hope that makes sense to you. And risk report, if I'll explain risk report again. Summary of what has happened Okay. So, Nabila, Naim, is it clear about these 4 documents? Risk register, issue log, risk management plan, risk report. Risk register, all risks. Issue log, all issues. Risk management plan, how process happened. Risk report, summary report. Okay. I need your confirmation in the chat box that you know that you understand it. Yeah, project manager is preparing the plan, but that has nothing to do with the question. Question does not say about that. The question talked about the risk. So what will be the answer now? It's not a problem. It's not a summary. It's not this. It's this. A is the right answer. I hope that makes sense to you. A is the right answer. Same question, I take in a different direction. So we need to follow 3 steps in solving question. We slow down, we identify keywords, and we use elimination technique. Okay. So slow down. Which document will help us? It is talking about document or plan. You're the project manager. You identify all risks. You made plan when risk occurred. Another, it was not done. You made a plan and until now. This is the real question. You want to audit whether the process was followed or not. Risk report gives you summary. It's not audit. It's not asking about the risks. It's not this. It is this. C is the right answer. So again, each and every single question, we need to understand how the questions are asking. Okay, how these questions are asking, how the orient should be, what should the way will be, etc., etc., etc. Okay, if you understand that, you understand how to solve question answer. This is the most important thing. Okay, so once you understand this thing. Cool. Okay, batch 11, 12, please message in your groups that the coaching call is in progress and we are solving this question, so the people can also join. Same question, I took it in 4 different ways with one keyword that you know now how to understand that. Islam, why would you put issue log here? Now this is why I want to make sure everyone understand. Islam, what was the question here asking? What was the keyword? Every question should be tackled in that way. What is the keyword? What the question is asking? How we should move into it. So I want to know that. even a one student, I always say that no student left behind. No student left behind. No man left behind. Okay, okay, that is acceptable. So the question to understand is very important. Okay, here keyword is showing you the weekly risk meeting status of those risks, not a risk register. Oh. It's a risk report. Now, this question is all about 4 tools and technique. I told you this is master class of risk for you guys. Uh, Guys, please like this video. When you like on the videos and even those who watch later on, it start coming into the algorithm of videos. So please do like it. I see only 4 or 5 people have liked it. I'm gonna request everyone, please do like that video on YouTube. Okay, let me explain this tool one by one. Well, they are the quantitative risk analysis tool. Like when you identify risk, it goes to risk register. Okay, then you prioritize them or rank them using qualitative. Then, if needed, we do quantitative risk assessment. So these tools are quantitative risk assessment tool. Okay. So what were the tools? First, Monte Carlo analysis. So Monte Carlo is a probability distribution curve we get here. It's like an S curve. It's a probability distribution curve. It tells us what is the probability of achieving project in this cost/time. Okay, so we on x-axis we basically put cost or time. Here we put probability, etc., etc. So for example, how it is useful, I want to see when this what is the probability that this project will be completed by 30th January. I'll check that. I'll run the Monte Carlo simulation, advanced simulation will be there, and then I will identify that. Okay, I use this probability distribution curve, Monte Carlo analysis for your exams. I check, are you ready for the exam or approximately when it will take. Okay, the next tool that we use is tornado analysis. Tornado analysis also known as sensitivity diagram. I look into that. I look into the sensitivity analysis diagram and I see if this event happen, how it will impact negatively or positively, and I rank them. Same event, for example, I'm sitting in a room. If fire happen, what is the most like thing that will get damaged? My iMac. Oh, actually, even before that, my whiteboard, the big board, that can get damaged. My iMac, it's very costly. That is 5,000. This is 5,000. Then my iPad, my mobiles, then the wooden floor, the like books, wooden floor. I will get a sensitivity into that. Okay. So same in the project. When I'd like to give the example, if rain happen, what is the first activity to stop? What is the first activity we stop? What's the second activity we stop? Third activity. So we rank them according to their priority. Tornado analysis or sensitivity diagram. Very important. Okay. Then the next tool it is mentioned, decision tree analysis. So in risk, expected monetary value is risk is probability into impact. This is used to calculate individual risk. If you have two options, what we do, we go with shall I go for this one or this one? You calculate expected monetary value of this, expected monetary value of this, whichever ones is better, you go for that one. That gives you decision tree analysis. Okay. The fourth one is influence diagram. Influence diagram, this is actually used a lot in the schedule. Which activity has more influence? You tell me in the chat box. Which activity is the most risky activity? Which is the second most risky activity? Put in the chat box. I'll appreciate if everyone can like the video so that it can start coming in the LMA video. Yes, B is the number one risky activity. Then C. So if we go into that question now, we want to see severity, which will have more impact. We know this is a probability distribution curve. It gives the probability of something happening. So that is not the answer. Influence diagram shows which one is more risky. It's not the answer. Decision tree gives you the money. Tornado analysis or sensitivity diagram, it ranks the risk. So what becomes the answer? Automatically, what becomes the answer? Okay, what becomes the answer? You get into that way. This is how we ranked into that. Okay, this is how we ranked into that. Clear to everyone? Are we clear about that? Everyone is on the right platform. They understand. Mhm. Okay. Now let's risk response strategy. So we discussed about, we identify the risk, we put in the risk register, we discuss risk management plan, issue log, risk report. Then we discuss about the analysis, we prioritize them qualitatively and quantitatively. Now we are going to discuss risk response strategies in next 4 to 5 questions. Okay, so let's go to the risk response strategies. Mhm. Risk response strategies. Negative risk, positive risk. Avoid is the most strong strategy. Avoid mean you kill the risk. You see, risk is probability into impact. Avoid means you make the probability zero or you make the impact zero. So when you make the probability zero or impact zero, automatically you just kill the risk. Example, COVID-19, we locked down. We locked down. As a result, probability zero. Is avoiding clear? I'm going to go one by one towards all risk response strategy, because this is one of those topic that people get a lot confused. Will that be fine to you? If that is fine, avoiding is clear. I'll give you one more example of avoiding. Okay. Yes, thank you very much. If rain is there, don't go outside. Avoiding. Okay. Another example. If I am having hand pain or I cannot move my neck because maybe I slept, overslept, I don't stand and do class on board. I sit. I avoided that. Okay. Or don't do the class at all. That's more avoided. Okay. Now we go to another risk response strategy. I am first gonna go with the negative one. Okay. Avoid. Now mitigate. Okay. You decrease probability or impact. Okay. You cannot do both. You minimize risk. Okay. Example, COVID, we cannot stay at home. We used SOPs like go outside, get vaccine. People can still die, but the probability is comparatively less. Okay. I cannot stay all day at my home. So the probability become very less. We mitigated that strategy. Okay. We mitigated that thing. So we have minimized the risk there. We mitigated the risk. Is mitigation clear to everyone? Same car example. Car example. If the rain is happening and you have to go. Okay. If you have to go, what do you do? If you have to go, what do you go? Drive slowly. Use safety belt. That is mitigation strategy. That is mitigate. You just mitigated the risk. Okay. You just mitigated the risk. You minimize risk problem. Okay. That is mitigation of risk. Clear? Now we go to the next one. Next response strategy. We are just discussing, for your example, negative risk, also known as threat. Now, for negative risk, we transfer to third party. Third party becomes responsible. How? Get insurance, give them premium to handle risk. Example, health insurance. These are all negative risk response strategies. Avoid, mitigate, and transfer. Clear to everyone? Avoid, mitigate, and transfer. Now, if a question comes for any negative risk response strategy, will you be able to handle? Mhm. Risk is not just negative. Risk can also be positive. Positive risk is more of a called as opportunity. Positive risk is called opportunity. Okay. How do we handle it? Opportunity. Positive risk is called opportunity. Positive risk, opportunity. Let me use green color. The number one strategy that we use for positive risk is exploit. Now, this is a very interesting thing. Many times people think exploiting is the bad thing, whereas the PMI says exploiting is the best risk response strategy. Exploiting is the best risk response strategy. Okay. What do? You increase probability and impact. Both increased. Okay. You increase probability and impact. Example, supplier is going on bankrupt. Competitor. You put your money plus you get a loan to ensure that is materialized. Okay. That is exploiting of the risk. The next is enhance. If you cannot increase probability and impact, both of them, you increase one of them, probability or impact. There's a job that you think that can give you best ROI. You put example, put best resource on it. Okay. Now be very careful. You putting best resource on it and also you doing other things, combining probability or impact, it can become something else. So be very careful about that. If the risk is positive and you cannot handle it alone, you take third party also. It is shared. You get both get benefit. For example, Bitcoin, you cannot buy alone, you share it. Okay, you share it. You buy a plot, share it, and if you get the benefit, you get the benefit for it. So these are the positive risk response strategies. Okay, those were negative risk response strategies. These were positive risk response strategy. Okay. Now, if risk is above your threshold, both positive and negative, both positive and negative, we use escalate. Like in COVID, when you could not handle the risk was above your pay grade, you kept on escalating it. Okay, you kept on escalating it with the parties. Clear? You kept on escalating it to third parties. That is escalation, like seniors. Buying gold now is what type of risk? Okay, so buying gold, like, are you buying gold alone or you are buying it with someone else? Like, if you buy gold yourself, you feel that this is gonna go up. That is enhancing your chance. You're doing one thing. If you buy gold and make rumors to other people that it is also gonna go above, that is exploiting. If you buy gold, maybe you and Amrit both buy gold together, and when the gold go up, you share it. That is sharing. Clear? And escalation is also clear to everybody. Put something in the chat box, please. Negative and positive strategies are clear to everybody. Mhm, mhm. In exploiting, you increase probability and impact names up. Both probability increased as well as impact increase. Both things increase. In enhancing, only one thing is increased. Probability or impact. You can do one of those. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. So now all these risk response, like excluding this one escalation, they are proactive risk response. You identify and you take action. You identify and you take action. You do not wait for anything. We have accept for positive and negative. I called it reactive risk response. You identify risk, you put in the risk register. You set a risk owner. Anyone can be a risk owner. Risk owner, he monitor trigger of the risk. Trigger is an event happen before risk. Example, clouds before rain. So when a trigger occurred, risk owner implement agreed risk response. Those risk response can be called as plan A, contingency plan, and plan B, fallback plan. Okay. One more time. All other risk response strategies were proactive. You identify the risk, you immediately take action. Whereas if you identify the risk, and you put in the risk register, risk owner wait for a trigger to happen. Risk owner wait for a trigger to happen. Trigger is an event that happen before the risk. Just like a gun trigger, like bullet is coming, he wait for the risk to happen, and then once a trigger happen, he implement the agreed plan that is called contingency plan, and if that plan fails, then he implement fallback plans. Okay, so this is all risk response strategies for you. Now let's go back to the questions and solve some questions, and then I will tell you after those questions, once you implement a risk response, what do you do? Okay, what happens after a risk response? So now what is the answer for this question? Use elimination. Okay, so here you identify the risk. Seller is going bankrupt. You found this is a great opportunity. They agree to give you money and you will give them some profit. So here you give them profit. So we discussed it is not a negative risk. This is eliminated. It's not a reactive action. It is share. Very interestingly, if he was going bankrupt and you do it yourself, you took a loan from someone and it was not mentioned that they will also get profit. If it was not mentioned, they will also get profit, then what would have been the answer? If it was not mentioned that they will also get profit, then what would have been the answer? It was not mentioned they will also get profit. Okay, then it would be exploiting. But here they are also getting profit. So it becomes sharing. I made this question specifically so that you can understand difference between exploiting versus sharing. Is that clear to everyone? The difference between exploiting and sharing. Is it clear to everyone now? Put something in the chat box. Okay, Vithal, you were putting exploiting. Nabila, you were putting exploiting. Islam, you were putting exploiting. Now this is clear to you. My goal was to trick you, and you got tricked. So be very careful next time. Okay. Next question. Keyword. Not avoiding, not mitigating, not acceptance, transfer for it. So now you are understanding how it is negative risk, so it is transfer. It's not difficult. You need to just think in a different box. Okay. Next. So question is very interesting. Risk never happen. What does that mean? You kill the risk. Transfer is insurance. You did not wait it. You did not minimize it. You kill the risk. A. Okay. What do I see? Keyword. Okay. Avoided. Avoided. Okay. Cool. I hope the risk topic is becoming clearer to you guys.
You identify the risk, it will have less severity. Keywords, guys, keywords, keywords. No, 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 mitigate. Yes. Let me see. Less severity, mitigate, 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 mitigate. Cool. So everyone is following the plan. You have identified this can help you increase your profit. You put your best resources. Okay. So avoid no, mitigate no, accept not. You exploited it. A option. So we already solved a question like that. This is sharing. So what did we discuss about acceptance? You identify the risk, put in the risk register. Risk owner, wait for the trigger, and then he implement. You identify risk. When risk occurred, the risk owner updated the risk register. Exploit, no, 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 acceptance. Let's see how many of you got the right answer. So cool, everyone got the right answer. Just to revise the topic, this we discuss in the start, the 4 documents. it has occurred now. Okay, it has occurred now. So what will you do? It has occurred now. Saf, you have identified a risk and made a plan. When the risk response was implemented, another risk occurred which is even bigger than the first risk. Okay, let's go back to our master sheet. So we discussed till acceptance. So you identify risk. Okay, you put in the risk register, you set a risk owner, he implement risk response plan. Okay, when you implement a risk response, there are actually two options. You are left with small amount of risk, that is called residual risk. For example, I drink coffee from it. I try to drink the entire coffee. Still some small amount is left. That amount is called residual risk. Small, negligible, below threshold. Okay? Small, negligible. Small. Or another risk is identified. Another risk is identified because of implementing that risk. That is called secondary risk. Another risk is identified because of implementing the first risk. That is called secondary risk. If you identify that before happening, it goes in risk register. If you identify after happening, it goes in issue log. Okay? After happening, before happening. Here, you identify it after happening. So, issue log. Am I clear about that? Okay? Am I clear about that? Many people were confused about that. So that's okay, sir. That's why we are having this coaching call. Nothing to need to be sorry. So the purpose is that you understand everything. Okay? G, few more questions on the rest topic. This is your test of the question. This is a good question. I mitigated. I decreased the intensity. I went there. I decreased the intensity. It could have happened. I did not accept it. I mitigated it. B is the answer. Okay. Before we move forward, or before we end the call, this last topic, if you master, we discuss risk register, issue log. I added here lesson and project management plan. So I want you to understand these documents also. We already discussed risk register versus issue log. Okay. Unidentified and plan. Something happened. Immediately put in it. Problems. Lesson learn register. Future lessons. Future lessons you put into it for future purposes. Okay. So whatever the future lessons are, you put into the future way into that. Future lessons. Okay. Whatever the future lessons are, you put it into the that. So lesson learned register is a very important document. Whenever a bad thing happen and we want to document for future, we put it in the lesson learned register. That's a very important thing to look into that. Okay. So if we go into this, if we go into this lesson learned register, you cannot travel which document you will update first. It's not a risk, it's out. Risk project management plan has everything out. We are left with two options. Of course, for future, we update lesson learned. But the question says, first, what will you update? First, you will update issue log. First, you will update issue log, then lesson. Okay. So that's it for today's coaching call. The document on which I am writing it down. If you are my student, just put the message in the group or personally message in the group. I will send it to you guys, that document if you want, on which I was taking notes. If you are not my student, you can reach me at my number. I will put actually the link later on in the YouTube video. You can download that document if you want. Okay, Murad is saying, please discuss accept. So Murad, acceptance is basically a passive risk response strategy. What do? We put that into the risk register. You identify the risk, Murad. You put it in the risk register. A risk owner will review that, okay, when that trigger will happen. So when that trigger will happen, he will implement the risk response plan. He will implement the agreed risk response plan. Once he has implemented agreed risk response plan, when he has implemented agreed risk response plan, okay, then we will check for the residual as well as secondary risk. I hope that is clear to you. Okay, Murad Sahab, I hope that is clear. Anyone has any question on risk topic? Please ask. Enhance. More example. So enhance is basically you identify the risk and you say, see, it can give you benefit. So what do? You increase probability or impact. You see how I can increase the probability. What way I can increase it more? How, let's say you are getting, there's a chance you can get better job, and you know that there is a friend of yours who knows them. You call them and say, and if he can spend your positive words, that's enhancing of that. Okay, thanks Amir. It's an excellent class. The concept is happy to help. For those people who are watching and they are not my student, my class is starting tomorrow, Friday, 8 p.m. Pakistan time, 8:30 India, 7 p.m. UAE time, 10 a.m. EST. So if you are someone who is looking to do PMP, feel free to reach me. I would love to work with you and make sure that you become certified PMP. Okay, I would love to work with you for the program. Thank you very much. I wish you best of luck and see you in the next coaching call. This is amazing, and see you there. By the way, if you are my student and you need to take the retraining, you can join the class. I did send the video in the group. There is no additional charges. You just need to book the exam. And with that, bye-bye.
I would have not been able to clear the exam if Amir Ali would have not been there. I would have not been.
I did not believe that I will be able to clear my PMP within a month.
I don't know what to say actually, like I'm kind of like really
I got my results and I was above target in all 3 categories.
Wow.
So